N8N, the automation framework everyone is using right now to automate their businesses, cut costs, and save time. But if you've ever wondered how it works, by the end of this video, you'll know everything that you need to get started with N8N. But don't worry, you don't need to be technical, you don't need to be a programmer. In fact, Jan Neuberhauser, creator of N8N, built it because he spent a lot of time automating artists' workflows and wanted a simple UI to do this. Now, I'll go step by step and answer questions you might have, such as, why did it recently become so popular? How can I use AI to write N8N workflows? What does it really do? How can I use it to actually improve my business or start one? And so much more. With that being said, make yourself comfortable, grab a snack or a cup of coffee, and let's get started. So you've probably seen N8N everywhere on social media, and no, you're not going crazy. The search volume on Google Trends has been absolutely skyrocketing over the past couple of weeks. But what makes N8N special? After all, there are so many other automation frameworks like Zapier, Make, If This Then That. Here's what sets N8N apart. N8N is source available. Now wait, what does that actually mean for you? It means you can self-host it. But so what, right? Well, imagine never paying for automations again. Imagine having complete control over your data. No more wondering where your sensitive business information is stored or who has access to it. Let me put this in perspective. With Zapier, you're renting. With N8N, you can own. This can be critical for data-sensitive industries such as healthcare, insurance, financial services, legal, and so much more. But maybe you're thinking, I don't want to deal with servers and infrastructure. So N8N offers cloud hosting as well, but here's the kicker. Even their hosted version costs a fraction of what Zapier charges. Look at this. Zapier wants $73 per month for what N8N gives you for $29, and that's not a typo. But the real magic? If Zapier decides to double their prices tomorrow, what can you do? Nothing. You're trapped. With N8N, you can just download in your workflows in JSON format and move them to your own server. You have an escape hatch. So we've covered cost and control, but here's one more thing that changes everything. You can build whatever you want. Hit a limitation, write your own integration. Need a specific feature, add it yourself. You can create your own nodes in a language called TypeScript. No more begging support teams or waiting months for updates. If you want to learn how to use AI to improve or start your own business, join our community of the smartest and most creative AI entrepreneurs discussing the latest AI developments. So that's why everyone's switching to N8N. It gives you everything the expensive platforms do, but with better pricing, actual ownership of your automations, and the ability to customize anything you need. And that's why it's exploding right now. But how does N8N work? I'll explain the concepts that you need to know, and then we'll go over a concrete example automating client onboarding using Stripe, Google Sheet, and Gmail. Workflow. This is the flowchart you're creating with a clear purpose. For example, client onboarding automation. You can turn workflows on or off at any time. Trigger. These actions that start workflows, and it can be a webhook hit, a cron schedule, new row in a Google Sheet, a new Stripe event, or just manual click from the UI. Nodes. Most nodes take input items and will do something with these items and then output new modified items. You can also branch, if, switch, merge, loop, call sub workflows. Actually, you can do anything like search in a database or a CRM, send an email, use AI, read Slack messages. Yeah, the possibilities are really endless. Then you have expressions. These are used to format data, pluck values from the current items. And here, for example, I have a node that I can edit fields, and it uses an expression to tell N8N what to pick. This programmatic syntax you see is called an expression. Credentials. These are stored once and helps you to connect to your apps. So sometimes you'll have a button where you can just sign off with your Google account and then you'll be able to send emails with it. Binary files are first class. It just means that you can pass files around like images, PDFs alongside JSON. You can store, stream them, and pass them around between nodes. Very useful for any kind of simple data pipeline. And then runtime versus editor. In the editor, you hit execute to test with sample data. But when you activate a workflow, N8N will run it automatically whenever the trigger you've set up fires. Alright, enough theory. Let's build something real that'll save you hours every week. Picture this, you run a consulting business. Every time a client pays, you need to make sure the transaction went through, add them to a Google Sheet, send them a welcome email with next steps. Doing this manually, that's maybe 15 minutes per client. Get 10 clients a week, that's over 2 hours of mind-numbing, repetitive work. Let's fix that in under 5 minutes. Here's what we're building. When someone pays through Stripe, N8N automatically does all of that for you while you sleep, while you're on vacation. So step 1, the trigger. First, we need N8N to know when someone pays. See this? This is a Stripe trigger node. Every time someone completes a payment, Stripe tells N8N, money just came in. But wait, how does Stripe Stripe know where to send this information? Simple, N8N gives you a unique webhook URL. You copy this, paste it into Stripe, and it's done. It's like giving Stripe your N8N's phone number. So whenever we have a customer checkout, this workflow will run. Step 3, add to Google Sheets. So now we connect Google Sheets. But here's what's cool. You don't need to mess with API keys or complex authentication. Just click connect, sign into Google, and done. But here's where people usually get stuck. Stripe sends you everything. Customer ID, payment method, timestamp, currency. It's overwhelming. But you don't need all that. Let's say you want to keep this simple. You just need their name and email. I'll show you how we solve this. So first you want to set up the node. So you paste your spreadsheet URL in, then map the fields, first the customer name and then the email. And that's it. This will pull the email and name of the customer from Stripe's data. Test it, and there you go, a new row appears. Now let's set up our onboarding email. So we can add a Gmail node. Same thing, connect your account once and you can reuse it. But here's where N8N gets powerful. You're not just sending a generic email. You can use a template with expressions to make them personalized to each customer. See what I did? I'm using their first name. This feels personal, not automated. Let's test it with a manual trigger. We can see the row was added to the spreadsheet and the email was sent with a personalized touch. But how do we keep this running 24/7? I've been using a manual trigger, but to keep this running, we have to activate the workflow. From now on, every single payment triggers this entire sequence automatically every time. A very cool trick you could use is also prompting ChatGPT or Claude for N8N workflows. If you want some prompts, templates, and tutorials on how to do this, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. If there are enough people interested, we'll make it happen. Share this with someone if you found this helpful. If you're interested in improving your business or starting one with AI, I personally make sure everyone in my community gets to accelerate their learning. Join the AI Accelerator community. The link is down below. Thank you.